Hey, what's going on YouTube? Thank you for coming back to another episode of Scattered Brilliancy. My name is Travis, and I'm here to review Married at First Sight Season 4, Episodes 2 and 3. I didn't do Episode 2 last week just because I didn't feel like it, and not much happened in Episode 2. So, we're going to do a little bit of Episode 2 and all of Episode 3. So, let's get to it. There's no holding back, there's no holding back. It's all or nothing. Alright, so not much really happened in episode 2. I mean, it picked up where episode 1 left off with all the rain and everything. As far as Lily and Tom's wedding, it was raining. And so for Lily, she thought those were bad omens. All in all, it all worked out. Lily and Tom, they had great chemistry throughout episode 2. They were kind of able to make the connection because both of their fathers are no longer in their lives. And that's something they connected on, later on. But those are pretty much the main things for Lily and Tom. They both found each other attractive. And pretty much every couple found each other attractive, which I guess is a good thing. Derek and Heather, she's not really as... well, let me say that Lily and Tom are definitely the most open couple. I would say... I'm not really sure who will fall second because it seems like it's kind of changed. Heather is not as comfortable kissing Derek as he is kissing her, and that showed up a lot in episode 2 as well. As far as Nick and Sonia, they're both just really reserved. All right, so I took notes as far as episode 3 is concerned. We're just gonna go couple by couple and just kind of go through it. So the couples are finished with their wedding. This is now they're gonna do their first night together and start their honeymoon. So Lily and Tom. They both feel great. He carried her through the threshold. Every couple did that except for Sonia and Nick, which we'll talk about later. But neither one of them necessarily had any expectations as far as how they thought that first night was going to go. I definitely believe that Tom wanted to consummate, based off their chemistry. Tom mentioned that there was all this sexual tension and that, it felt like a champagne bottle that's gonna explode. And all I could think about was like, is this like a symbolic thing for you, like exploding all over her face? Like, what you talking about, Tom? But, yeah. They say they didn't consummate the marriage. Who knows? Trey and Vanessa said they didn't last season and they were lying and they had sex that first night. So, I guess we'll find out later on in the season if they really did or not. But they say they didn't. They found out that they're going to Montego Bay for their honeymoon. And let me just say this about this couple. I'm not going to compare the couples to last season. But Lily and Tom, they getting on my nerves. Plain and simple, they get on my nerves more than the other two couples. I mean, they're just, they doing the most, y'all. The most. And it's just like, I need y'all to take a chill pill. Y'all doing a whole lot. The whole, are you trying to make me fall in love with you? I mean, like all the kissing and everything. It's like, were y'all strangers? Because, y'all are kissing each other a lot. Which, may be a good thing. But it just seems like they're in such a state of euphoria right now. It's going to be like that when reality hits, like the doctor said, I feel like it's going to be like a swift blow to the left cheek. Like it's going to hit them hard. And I can tell you when reality is going to hit them. Reality going to hit them when he finally confessed about where he living. Because throughout the whole episode towards the end, he kept talking about the fact that he did not want to tell her that he lives at 2817 Charter Bus Ridge. Eventually, he's going to have to tell her he's a busboy. And that is going to be a reality check for that tale. But, I understand he said he doesn't want to tell her during the honeymoon, which, it makes sense. But he's going to have to tell her sooner or later. And I think one of the main reasons, aside from not wanting to be honest and kind of like bring things back down to earth, he's ready for her to bust the wide open for a goon. That is what he is waiting for. He is waiting to get up in them guts. I'm certain of it. If he hasn't already, based on what we're watching, he's ready to get up in that thing. Derek and Heather, he carried her through the threshold. And Derek is a lot more affectionate than Heather. He seems to be a lot more calm than she is, and she's a little more reserved than he is. She didn't really feel initial chemistry. These are her words, that she didn't feel initial chemistry, I guess, when she first met him. But I think he felt it. But I think by the end of the episode, they were more on the same page. She seemed to be a lot more comfortable with him, and she kept using the word safe, that she felt safe with him, to the point where I feel like they showed her saying it so much that that's going to come up later in the season. I feel like something may happen where she doesn't feel safe anymore because of how many times she said she feels safe now. Like, she said it at least 3 times. So I guess we'll see if something happens regarding that. Just like Lily and Tom, they did not consummate their marriage. They did spoon, though. And they're headed to Puerto Rico for their honeymoon. As a reminder, Heather is a flight attendant, so she's been there before. But Derek has never been. While they're driving, they pass a casino, and he mentions, that he gambles or whatever. And Heather is now kind of having to hold down this feeling of being nitpicky and trying to convince herself and trying to remind herself not to be so picky, because I guess that's how she's been in her past relationships, and obviously it wasn't working. So I guess now she's trying to be more open. And the experts even mentioned the fact that she said that she was okay with someone who occasionally smokes, and he told her that he occasionally smokes, but she definitely made a point to let it be known that occasionally is a subjective word, and it is. But his definition of occasionally is once a week, which is not okay with her. I guess maybe her occasionally is once a month. But she's going to try to stick through it and not let that affect the way that she sees him, which is a good thing. They also haven't had sex. I can't see them having sex probably anytime soon, just because the affection isn't there. For Lily and Tom, it's just like oozing all over the screen. But for them, they're taking their time, which I think is the best way to be. I feel like, Lily and Tom, they're going to hit the ground. They're going to, hit the ground hard. It's not going to be a good thing. Now, when it came down to Nick and Sonia, she did not want him to carry her over the threshold because she said she didn't know if he could carry her. He just took it as maybe her dress is too tight. But, I think that kind of sets up how they're going to be. They're very, very reserved, just as a unit reserved. And it's like this juxtaposition kind of thing going on with Lily and Tom on this side and Nick and Sonia on this side, because you have this one couple who's really open and just all over each other, but then you have this couple on this end that's just very, you can almost see the wall that they both have up. Sonia's is a little bit higher than Nick's, but they're definitely reserved. So, we'll see. I kind of like Sonia and Nick out of all the couples, to be honest with you, because I feel like their stuff is going to be a lot more organic as far as getting to know each other, taking your time, and kind of going at a steady pace as opposed to the other two couples. They as well did not consummate their marriage. They're going to the Dominican Republic. All the couples not necessarily met, but they had brunch with their families the day after the wedding, which was fine. Nothing worth mentioning happened. And also they all met with Dr. Delato. I think that's her name. They met with Dr. Delato just to kind of see how things were. And nothing she said was really worth mentioning either. And I want to be clear with everybody who watches my videos, who I don't really remember how I did last season, but I'm not going to do play-by-plays as far as these episodes are concerned, because like I said in the first video, right now it's just not as interesting as last season. It's more interesting than it was episode 1, but it's not there yet as far as to make me really excited. That's why I didn't do last week's, just because it wasn't enough to talk about. So I figured we'll just combine these two together. The show is getting better. We'll see how everything goes. I want to wager on who I think is going to last, but clearly last season was no help, to say, oh, I think this couple's going to make it and this couple isn't, so I'm not going to even go there. But, I would not call it entertaining yet. But this whole episode was just all of the couples getting to know each other a little bit better, kind of getting a chance to see personalities a lot better. I'm so excited to see when Tom finally tells Lily that he lives on the bus. When he tells her that he's living at 2817 Charter Bus Ridge, I can't wait to see her reaction. Because my thing is, they said that she's moving in with him. So my thing is, how is that going to work? If they get into an argument and she get mad or he get mad, where you going to go? You going to go to the front of the bus? You going to pull a Rosa Parks on and tell her to go to the back of the bus? How that going to work? Somebody let me know. But I guess we'll see. But y'all, thank you so much for watching this lackluster review of Married at First Sight season 4, episodes 2 and 3. Make sure you like, rate, comment, and subscribe, and I will be talking to y'all later.